back to the show. This is The Law Show on CL 650.
Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness?
A couple of guys who go to court a lot enjoying Can I Get a Witness? A little Marvin Gaye there for your Sunday morning. It's The Law Show on CL 650. Joe Murphy and Alex Sein-Wittgenstein from Murphy Batista LLP in studio. We're talking brain injuries, concussions, and all that goes along with such an injury. And one of them, Joe Murphy, certainly is when one receives a concussion, whether it's a sporting event, a skiing accident, or a car accident. One is, generally speaking, sidelined for a while, unable to make money, and generally speaking, simultaneously incurring a whole stack of new costs. Where's the money come from for all of these unexpected moments in life?
Sterling, in a car accident claim, ICBC is required as your insurer, the injured person's insurer, to pay up to $300 a week in wage replacement benefits. That figure hasn't changed since the early 1990s. It's grossly inadequate. No one can live on $300 a week. A single person can't live on that. But again, it hasn't changed since 91. Some people have private disability insurance. Some people have disability insurance through their employer.
Oh, sure, okay.
Some people have a big sick bank that they can draw on. But for just about everyone, it's a financial disaster.
Right.
Because the income stops and they have new expenses, the physio, the medications, all of that. So it's a disaster. And I know whether you have a neck injury, back injury, or concussion, the sooner you get into the treatment, the sooner you get treatment, the better the result's going to be.
Do people avoid going into treatment, Alex, because they're intimidated by the costs? They see their ability to earn shrinking, if not disappearing, and at the same time there's this whole whack of new costs coming up, and people just stop and avoid that because I just can't afford it. I'll walk around wounded. I can't afford it.
People have to make that tough decision all the time, insofar as having to forego treatment that may well be able to help them get back on their feet sooner.
Right.
Just because they cannot afford it. They've got mouths to feed at home.
Sure.
And the money's not flowing in. They've got a mortgage that's payment that needs to be made, and they sacrifice their own well-being in order to try and make ends meet.
And Joe, what legal advice do you give someone who, a person that Alex has just described, the person quite prepared to sacrifice his or her own well-being in order to, pay the mortgage and feed the kids?
Well, what we do at Murphy Batista is we arrange funding for this person so that they can get this treatment that's so important to their recovery.
Right.
That's not a problem people should be faced. But if the funding's not made available, then, as Alex says, what's the fellow going to do? Is he going to buy food, pay the rent, pay the mortgage, or is he going to use some of that money for therapy?
Sure.
With a family, you don't have easy choices.
Right, and most of us, it's not even a choice, is it, Alex? You don't even think twice about it. Got to feed the kids, got to keep a roof over their heads.
Right, and the other option that's sometimes taken by these people is that they go back to work when they shouldn't be going back to work. They need to have that money flowing in again.
Of course, yeah.
And that's one thing that we know about concussions is often going back to work can be too soon, can be devastating to
Well, especially if you go back to work and you can't do the job, and then suddenly you're at risk of losing your job because you can't do it the same way you used to. That's what we were paying you for. We're not seeing you perform up to snuff anymore.
And you can have real conflict at work that's new following a concussion.
Right.
Your ability to get along with people, your ability to get along with customers may well be radically different. So going back to work too early is a terrible choice, but some people see it as their only choice.
All the more reason, gentlemen, in the last minute we have, to talk about why seeing a lawyer is so important, because there are so many big decisions to be made and a lot of scary scenarios surrounding all of them, not the least of which is no more money coming into the house. Now what? Got to sit down and talk to an experienced lawyer, right, Joe?
Well, you do, Sterling, and people should understand a lawyer's available for them to talk to at no charge.
Right.
They're not required to hire the lawyer, but what they come away from that meeting or telephone call with is knowledge, so that they can then decide what they want to do. The knowledge is invaluable. and the knowledge comes to them free of charge.
Right. Keep it in mind, friends. MurphyBatista.com is the website for Vancouver personal injury law firm Murphy Batista LLP. You can find Joe Murphy and Alex Stein-Wittgenstein's credentials, contact points, email addresses, telephone numbers. All of that is at MurphyBatista.com. The office is right downtown at 650 West Georgia. Joe Murphy and Alex Stein-Wittgenstein. Good to meet you, Alex. Thanks for coming out for your first appearance on The Law Show. Here's hoping it won't be your last.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Joe, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Sterling.
And we'll see you next time, right here on The Law Show.